Okay, so welcome to those listening to the Method cast. Today's guest is Dr. Anna Khaylis, and generally when I bring people on, so Anna, the focus, my underlying focus of the podcast is bringing people on specialists that have dealt with trauma, although there's other things as well. So welcome,
Thank
and
you.
we were talking before we started about your story. So can we just go back in and get your story again? Because
Yeah.
remember, I was doing so before you came in, I was doing some research and I just saw British Columbia and it said 1986. I was just like, there's no way you graduated in
No.
1986. So what's the backstory again, if you don't mind repeating it?
Yeah, no worries. Where do you want me to start from?
Um,
College?
well,
Graduate school?
you're from
I'm from California.
yeah,
Yeah, I was born and raised in San Francisco,
nice.
California. Yeah. I got my bachelor's from a college in Southern California.
Wait, can we go
Yeah.
back to actually why you got into what you said earlier about
Oh,
Moldova and
sure.
stuff? Yeah,
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I was born and raised in California. My family immigrated in the 70s as refugees from the Soviet Union, from the country of Moldova. So when I was 19 or 20, this is like the early 2000s, I did my study abroad in Stockholm, Sweden. And this was a time in the country where the Russian, right, there was a lot of kind of challenges dealing with mafia. And one of the things that was happening was human trafficking was increasing in Sweden. And I realized that a lot of the victims, a lot of the survivors were coming from the former Soviet Union. And a lot actually happened to be from the country where my family was from Moldova. And I think this really impacted me, right? Because it was like realizing just from sheer luck of where I was born, lives were going so differently. So I got involved at that point, but it was, I was 19, I was 20. I didn't have any degrees or anything like that. There wasn't much that I could do as a college kid. But I did some translation, I did some volunteering, that kind of thing. But that really kind of set me on a path to wanting to work with trauma and wanting to be a psychologist.
and so you end up in San Francisco.
Yeah, so after I graduated from college, I started graduate school in Palo Alto. I went to Palo Alto University and got my PhD from there. So while I was getting my PhD, I was involved in research at Stanford, focusing on trauma. And I also did my practice, like my practicum, my supervised kind of clinical practice in the Palo Alto VA, which is the hospital for veterans, for U.S. veterans. So I was there for a few years, and then I did my residency at the Minneapolis VA. So the VA system in the United States is a bit different than in Canada, right? The VA system is set up all through the country.
VA.
Veterans Administration.
Okay.
Yeah, to help veterans and soldiers. So, yeah.
And so now you're here in BC.
And now I'm here in BC.